Hi everyone, my name is Angelica from the MathMagician Services, and today I wanted to be talking with you guys about one of my favorite bookkeeping tools that I use called Keeper. Keeper is a bookkeeping tool that helps you communicate with your clients, help you organize and categorize transactions, and just stay on top of certain tasks that you have to do as a bookkeeper. I have used so many other different types of softwares and task management companies. I've used Monday.com, Asana. I've used another tool called Client Hub. And while those work really well if you have like a large team, I didn't really get the tasks that I needed done, and I couldn't really figure out, like, I'm not very good with my time management or my task management sometimes, and so this is why I really wanted this. And this is super helpful also if you are doing subcontracting work for someone and you're trying to keep up, because I know when I was doing subcontracting work for some people, I had two different emails. I had my normal email, and then I had my email that was set up with the subcontractor. And there was a lot going on, a lot of chaos, a lot of different clients that needed different things. And so I needed me a good task management company or tool to be able to help with that. And so, like I said, I used this company called Client Hub, and it did pretty okay, but it had some jank to it. And so I found Keeper. And Keeper basically, like I said, is going to help you communicate with your clients. So I'm going to show a demonstration of what that looks like here in a minute. But you can communicate with your clients super easily. You can have them upload their own statements, files, anything into the client portal. And likewise, you can upload certain files or statements or anything that you need to upload into their client portal. That way they can access it at any time. Another thing that I really appreciate about Keeper is that if you have uncategorized transactions, then you can actually go into Keeper, click on that specific transaction. It already has the payee information, the amount, the description, everything, and you can click Ask Client. It will automatically send either a text or an email or whatever for them to view that in the portal, and then they can answer the question of what is this, who is this for. It kind of helps you get an idea of where that actually should be categorized, which is super helpful and super nice to not have to write down or print off a bunch of uncategorized transactions. It's literally bing, bang, boom. And they even have it set up now where there is a Chrome extension directly in QuickBooks that if I'm in QuickBooks and I see a transaction that I'm unsure of what it is, I click Ask Client, it gets sent to the client portal, and then I can choose how I want to notify them, like I said, either through text message, email, what have you. On top of all of those things, like I said, it's really good for client communication and so on, but it really helps with certain tasks. And I'm talking about tasks that you don't 100% always think of all the time. And so it helps you become a more diligent bookkeeper and make sure that there's certain things that are taken care of. For instance, expense inconsistencies. If you see something in there for Google Ads and it says, hey, this is an inconsistent expense, I noticed you've had it as advertising and marketing, but it technically needs to belong to advertising and marketing Google or something like that. It kind of lets you know how certain things have previously been recorded, and it'll let you know if there's inconsistencies with that, which helps you stay consistent, and then all the reports stay consistent as well. It also notifies you of any uncategorized transactions, any duplicate vendors, duplicate customers, things that don't have payees. So if there's a transaction that doesn't have a payee, it'll notify you, and you can basically put in a payee. And everything that you do within Keeper, like I said, syncs up to QuickBooks. So if I make a change in Keeper, it'll sync over to QuickBooks, which is super helpful that I don't have to go back and forth and kind of keep track of that. Also, if I have to reconcile something, I can just upload the statement directly to whichever account that I'm trying to reconcile. I can put reminders, I can create my own tasks. So there's all kinds of good stuff. So I'll just show you a demonstration of what that looks like. But I did want to let you guys know that I do have an affiliate code with them. I pretty much seeked this out after I signed up with them and started to be able to figure it out on my own, because I enjoy it so much and it has helped me stay so organized in my business that I figured it would help other bookkeepers like myself. So I do have an affiliate code that I will show right here, and I'll also link it in the description for you guys. It'll help you get a discount off of your first month, or I'm not 100% sure how long it gives you a discount, but I believe it's 20% off discount. So if this is something you're interested in, which I think it's pretty inexpensive for all the things that it offers, but if that's something you're interested in, you can either look at this link here or you can look in the description and go ahead and figure it out for yourself. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into a demonstration of how I use Keeper for my monthly, weekly, and daily tasks. Okay, everyone, so now I'm in Keeper, and you can see some of the clients that I have entered in here. Everything that is green shows that that month has already been done. So April has been done for 2 of these clients. Here that these are accounts to reconcile. These are non-closing tasks. These are pre-closing tasks. These are transaction reviews. So you can go through here and see the things that you're waiting on. You'll be able to see any questions and if the questions have been answered. If not, then it'll be like a 0 out of 1. So that's really nice to know what all is going on in there. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what this looks like from reconciliations and everything else go, because some of the reason that these are not 100% done are because I'm waiting for the statements for credit cards, which sometimes the actual statements don't come out till like the 20th. And so I usually have to wait that long. Usually I'll have everything categorized before then, and that way I can send reports out to them at the beginning of the month. But everything else that I need to get reconciled usually has to wait. But I'm going to go ahead and show you one of my largest accounts and all the tasks that I've entered in for them that are technically non-closing tasks. Non-closing means that they aren't necessary to close out that month, but they are things that I personally like to do, and I kind of put reminders in there for myself so that way I can see. So let's go ahead and click on this. Here you can see if there are any new questions for the client. If I wanted to, I could ask new questions. These are questions from the client. These are vendor requests, so this is really helpful around like 1099 season of getting information. This right here is the account reconciliation area. So any account that needs to be reconciled, whether that be a credit card, checking account, bank account, anything that needs to be reconciled, all goes in this spot here, and you can add whatever you need to. And what's really nice is that you can upload bank statements here, and you can see I have a reminder of when at certain days the statements become available. And so this kind of goes red when it's past due. So this actually wasn't ready yesterday on May 12th, but I'm hoping it will be by Monday. And so there are certain things on here that like these are going to be done at the beginning of every single month, so I don't have to wait. But some of these items I do have to wait, and I can make it recurring, which is really nice. So, and I can upload, like I said, the statements directly to there. That way, all I have to do is just look this up. And this is super helpful because my husband also works with me occasionally, and sometimes I'll have him do reconciliations. And as long as I can get the bank information and upload it in here, all he has to do is go to Keeper, click on this. He knows exactly where it is. And you can see I have this CR here. That's my husband's name. So I can actually assign certain team members to a specific task or to a specific account. So these are non-closing tasks. So I have all these different things here, and you can see that I have them set up on recurring intervals. So sometimes it's every single week, sometimes it's twice a week, sometimes it's done by whatever. But you can see that it turns red if certain things haven't been done. So for instance, I usually will check to see if deposits came through from David Weekley or Lennar Homes. There is usually a site that I go to where I have to see if there are any payments that, if there's any POs that I need to approve to be sent out, sign liens for certain things, enter certain bills, pay their credit cards, send out payroll on Thursday of every single week, enter actual payments / deposits that they receive from certain checks, pay certain bills. So you can pretty much do anything that you want in here. You can click add task, and then whenever you do, you can pretty much name it whatever you want. You can have it repeat on a certain cycle. And what's nice is there's this checklist system here. So I actually have one that has a checklist because, like I said, my husband, he's still learning certain things. And so I usually will kind of give an idea of how to do it. So let me not look at this one. I think it's here. Yeah, enter David Weekley payments. So log into their information, and then I can pretty much do that, and they can go through and literally checkbox every single one of these. That way it's easy to follow along with. So I really appreciate that about it. And then here are things that actually are pertinent to pre-closing. So making sure all the transactions in the bank feed are coded or categorized, and I have everything in here that my husband would need to know if he's doing certain things. And then this here is really nice, is transaction review. I already kind of talked about it in the beginning, but transactions without payees, this will show me anything that shows up for that month, honestly, previous to that as well, of anything. So if I wanted to put Serve and Go as one of these, as the payee, I could put Weigels, and whenever you're done, you literally come in here and click this thumbs up saying, yes, I've reviewed it. I know, I'm aware. Sometimes like on card payments, I don't put a payee. And so I can usually just go, okay, yep, I know that that's exactly what that is. And I can go about my day. And then whenever you're done with it, you just click check and you're good to go. This is the expense inconsistency that I was talking about. Yep, here we go. So it's going to show me certain things that may or may not happen. So let's look at this. This is one of their softwares. And if you click this little drop down here, this shows that 58% of the time it's coded to software business operations, 30% of the time it's to bank charges, 5% of the time it's dues and subscriptions. So I know that this is wonky because sometimes it is coded to software because that is what it is. It helps with the business operations. But sometimes it is actually a like subscription, just like with QuickBooks. You have sometimes like your merchant fees if you sign up for QuickBooks payments versus having just QuickBooks as the actual software that you would put as a subscription. So sometimes there's fees. So right here we can see there's a monthly fee that happens, but then this would be actually like the monthly subscription that happens is this $290 or this $240 or whatever. So you can see that there's certain things in here. But if I wanted to, I could literally check all of these and go, yep, they are all going to be, they're all going to go under a certain thing. Let me move myself. I can go, yep, they're all going to be software or business operations. And then if I clicked that, then all of this would turn to business operations, and I could set the status to reviewed or saved. And then it would automatically update that throughout all of QuickBooks. That way I don't have to go through one by one and do that, which is super, super helpful and saves a lot of time. And like I said, it's really nice to just know what some of the inconsistencies are. That way you are being consistent, and for certain reports and everything, it comes across looking so much better. And then under here, we also have uncategorized transactions. This is usually pretty empty because I stay on top of it. But if there is ever anything in here, I usually can ask my client what's going on. But you can choose which accounts you want to determine. So even if I wanted to put like, I don't know, accounting fees, which wouldn't make any sense. But if I did type in accounting fees, then it would usually pop up that from the chart of accounts from QuickBooks. And then I can throw it in here and it would flag everything from there and go, okay, these might be uncategorized transactions. But this is done, so I'm going to actually go ahead and select that that's done. Then we have this for duplicate vendors. Usually this shows if there are, anything that it can kind of see that could be duplicate things. So sometimes it tries to be a little bit too smart. Like these are obviously two different entities, but it kind of lets you know, and you can say, okay, I exclude this from the list because that doesn't affect anything. I can exclude Fort of Murfreesboro because City of Murfreesboro and Fort of Murfreesboro are completely different. So I can exclude those so they just don't keep popping up every single month. But if there are certain things in here that actually do match, then it would be nice to come through here and go like this US Bank versus US Bank Visa. If I wanted to, I could just merge those two items together and go, okay, that's, I don't want to have a duplicate vendor. So that's how that would come up. Preparing 1099s, this would show all of anybody that meets a certain threshold for 1099s. I usually just go ahead and click yes because I already did that before the beginning of the year. And then this right here shows you profit and loss, balance sheet, statement of cash flows, all that good stuff, which is super helpful. So this is pretty much what it looks like through everything, except for this one is a little bit different because I have certain projects in here specifically to this customer, which is really nice because sometimes I don't need that for certain ones. But then I'll come here to reporting, and I can actually pull up a report with either my logo on it or their actual business logo, and then it will pull up like the profit and loss report, balance sheet, statement of cash flows. I can even have it to where it's profit and loss for just April, and then I can add another profit and loss for comparing it to the last year or comparing it to the last 3 months, so on and so forth. So if I wanted to choose, which one I like, which I like the way this looks, it's got my logo on there. And then whenever I look through it, here's the table of contents, what the summary looks like. So it kind of gives an idea. And this is super helpful for like business advisory to be able to go over with your clients and show them kind of certain things that is happening. It'll kind of give an average, what the month was like from the last 3 months of, if it's going up, going down, what have you. It'll even show how many customers or vendors, the top ones that you're spending money on. So that's really nice to be able to see that as well. And then you can usually click publish. You can print it, email it, add it to the client portal, notify your client when that happens. And so now I'm going to show you what the client portal looks like. So here's the client portal here, and I can have, this is how my clients access the client portal, is through this link here. And then they can get files access, financial access, which is reports. And then I can choose to email them. Nice is it will automatically load their email, and then it will show my actual email address. It'll give a subject. I can choose which subjects that I want it to say. So this is an introduction to anybody signing up, but let's say I have new questions. I could put this here and it says, hey, I have some new questions for you. It has all of my information here, and then we send that link to my client. That way, all they have to do is click that. They'll see the information and they can actually update the answer from their actual, either online or just basically from their email. I can same thing where I send it as a text. So that's pretty much how you can send certain things through the client portal. And then if we go back to this is where you'll find all of the files and everything. So this is really good. Instead of having to pay for a Dropbox subscription or like DocuSign or some other items, HubDoc, to actually like hold on to your files. This is really nice because it holds on to your files as well. So let's go ahead and look at that. So just click files here. And basically these are all the statements for most of the reconciliation reports. Sometimes there is like login information here, a few other things that I usually like to put in here. That way they can see it. Everything that's in the portal, I can move stuff around, so I can hide certain things from my clients. If I don't want to notify my clients or let them see certain files and I just want it to be for me, then that's really nice. You can time yourself, based off of what's going on. Like I said, you can assign whoever you want. So there's just a lot of really neat stuff that I really love and appreciate about Keeper. And it's been super helpful for me to stay on task and to be able to actually keep up with certain things. And what's really nice is that you can look at your practice and you can basically make it whatever name you want it to be. So like I'm going to change this soon because I used to be the MathMagician Bookkeeping. Now I'm the MathMagician Services. I can change my logo. I can do how I want certain reports to look. I can even change the way that the colors look. So I can kind of customize it to where it's more of an experience for my clients within my actual brand. So that's something else that's really, really nice too. And I'm going to show you from QuickBooks' end what everything looks like as well, because like I said, they have a Chrome extension, which makes everything super easy too. Okay, so here's a really good example of what it looks like on QuickBooks' end. So I'm looking at a transaction right here. If I didn't know what it was, I could literally come here and click Ask Client. And I can ask what the information is. It will add it into the client portal, and then all I have to do is run over to Keeper and then click Send. And so that's really helpful that it does that. And whenever you do create a new question in Keeper, it doesn't just automatically send it. You can pretty much like do question after question after question after question, and then you can add it into the client portal. All they have to do is click on that link and they'll see it all at once instead of sending out a notification every single time you have a question about something, which I do appreciate that as well. And another thing that's really nice is all this client info right here. So right here, it'll give me details about the company if I want, any notes, if I put any notes in there, and then any files. So if I am reconciling and I don't want to have Keeper open, I can literally come in here and view the account reconciliation, or I can hide it. I could show it. Basically, all I have to do is just click on this and it'll give me the actual statement. So these are a lot of really nice things that I really appreciate about it. It's way more intuitive than most other things that I've used before. So I highly recommend using this to help with your bookkeeping tasks. It has been phenomenal. So all right, everybody, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this, please give it a like. If you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing. I also offer a bookkeeping academy to anyone aspiring to become a bookkeeper. It walks you through all the steps to start your bookkeeping business, from coming up with your name, legal entities, forward to using QuickBooks, understanding how it works, bookkeeping fundamentals of what certain things mean, like assets and liabilities, equity. So all kinds of these things we'll go over, and then I also will have a live video every single week that goes into more detail about how to use QuickBooks and to be able to do certain tasks for your clients that you may not know, because a lot of this stuff I had to learn along the way. And so I'm just trying to help you guys jumpstart that process so that way you're not sitting there floundering and trying to figure it out all on your own. So if you're interested in doing something like that, that link is in the description as well. And I would love to have you join my class. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.